Darth Tantrum is kind of, yeah. You kind of get a little Darth Tantrum. And I love the tantrums.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Well, they alluded to the fact that he's not really he's unfinished product, so.
But Kylo Ren made me laugh. That made me
I wish they would have shown his apartment or something, and at least get a shot of some of the medications he's on or something.
Yeah. And how come black people aren't mad that the stormtrooper stole the coat? And then he notices it, and he's like, oh, no, yeah, you have to keep it. And, you know, let the one black guy steal something in the movie, and then that's
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morning Glory. My name is Eddie Law, and we made it to Friday, finally. I had some issues with the truck this morning, so it took me a minute to get going, so I apologize for being late, but it seems like with the cold, this truck doesn't work well. What up, Jay? So I don't know. I'm fortunate. I love his truck and everything, but I'm gonna start looking to replace it, and it's already getting sad for me. So anyway, a couple things here. Obviously, Star Wars came out yesterday, and a lot of people were texting me about, you gotta go see it, bro. You gotta go see it, and I had to clear it up for them. Look, I've seen every Star Wars movie, but about a year. Well, first of all, the first three I didn't see till I got bored one day in high school, and I watched all of them, but I didn't see like any of the new ones till like a year after they came out. And all the new ones were awful. So I was, so that's one thing. The other thing is when a movie comes out and they're out there whoring themselves like a motherfucker, to me, it's not just advertising. Because look, when a movie has the name Star Wars to it, you don't have to advertise the shit out of it like the way they did with ESPN and, all these other shows they went on and put R2-D2 on the set of Sports Center and shit like that. So whenever they whore out in that manner, I always think it's going to be awful. However, a lot of my friends went to see it last night, and the reviews are just like, holy shit, it was amazing, blah, blah, blah. One of my more critical friends who fancies himself a movie critic said, and he said something about, you don't get a whole lot of, because he's a huge nerd, so you don't get a whole, how would you call it? You don't get the whole story. You get a lot of the bits and pieces you need of it. And I'm like, okay, but you're a guy that's read and seen everything Star Wars, so of course you're gonna have that opinion, right? But again, it turns out what people are saying is that it's a really good movie. So I don't know. I'll probably check it out in a week or so. I'm not in a hurry, really. If I see it this weekend, it's great. But I really don't feel like dealing with all the crowds because a lot of people are saying they're gonna go back and see it again. Have fun with that. I did that with Creed, so. But those are my kind of movies, hero starting at the bottom, working his way up type of stuff. But the other thing too, they're saying this is a Han Solo movie, that it's his movie, so that makes me feel a little better about it. So I don't know, maybe I'll go check it out this weekend. All right, in MMA news, this rising fucking fighting federation. By the way, it's Rising FF. I think it should be Rising FFF, Rising fucking Fighting Federation, because it is awful. So far, it is pretty awful. I should have known they were going to do a shit job of everything when I think it was Farmer O'Brien tweeted out their stream. So I was like, all right, let's see what happens here. And I retweeted his shit, and I sent out the link a bunch of times, whatever. And then I click on the link or whatever, and it had been going for about, 16 hours? Some shit like that. So someone over at Ryzen doesn't understand how YouTube streams work, that you can just start it when you need to. That you don't need to start it 16 hours before and just let it go, because that gets you nothing. Right? I mean, it might get you some views from people that just click on it and they're like, oh shit, nothing's on here, and then click on it again later. But that's kind of all you get. And of course they announced Fedor's opponent, the originally announced Jaideep Singh, former kickboxer who didn't want to fight for like fucking forever in kickboxing, and then he's 2-0 in MMA, and he's fought just bums. So Fedor's gonna beat up a tomato can on New Year's Eve. So I guess tune in for that shit about 8 hours after it happens. We'll know the result by the time we get to see it in the States. So very underwhelming. I'm still gonna watch the event, obviously for the circus factor with Fedor beating up some dude that probably can't defend himself. But I want to see Kron Gracie. I want to see Sakuraba and hope he doesn't get killed. Aoki is in there, yeah. Who else is on that card? I mean, yeah, it was like, King Mo. I'm okay, whatever. He's gonna beat up whoever they give him. If they give him the Fedor treatment, they're gonna give him the tomato can to beat up. It's a tournament, I believe, though. So I guess there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the name? Sakika. What the fuck? Sorry, I just call him former Pride boss. The former Pride boss is thinking. But these freak shows, I mean, it's kind of what it is, the freak show. And honestly, that's almost what he made Pride into, but it Pride turned for the better into something that seemed a little more legitimate. And then, out came the UFC years later. But I don't know what he's thinking about. I really doubt this formula, this Pride formula back in the day, circus type of stuff, is gonna hold up at all. And this, now that the UFC's out here, and World Series of Fighting, all those other things. So that's it'll be interesting to see. Other MMA things that I saw yesterday. Former World Series of Fighting executive Ali Abdelaziz is parted ways, quote unquote, mutually with World Series of Fighting. Other people I know say that he was fired. Who knows? But clearly the conflict of interest being a manager and a promoter for the sake, managing fighters in World Series of Fighting does not help. And that's kind of it. And addressing things of his past, I gotta give Helwani credit for asking him somewhat tough questions. They asked him, obviously, he named Mike Russell. He put Mike Russell out there by name, saying, a former journalist, Mike Russell, putting this out there, saying this and this and that, about your past with CIA and all that. And Ali just said, he said something about, I'm really proud of my past. So it's like, all right, cool. What else you got? He didn't, Ali did a really good job of not really answering the question. He just said, I'm proud of my past, basically. And just, saying that, Mike Russell, I got 5% of the truth. And who knows, man? I'm kind of like, I was all with Mike on at first, saying, okay, well, let's see some truth about this guy, because there's been coaches that have fighters in World Series of Fighting that know Ali. Ali did some backhanded shit, and they didn't like him. So I was looking at that. I was looking at it from that point of view too. But this whole thing with Mike, man, it turned into some weird, don't fuck with me shit. And it's really creepy at this point. So, who knows where that story's gonna go? But it's kind of a dead story. No one talked about it. No one in the media talked about it until Helwani asked Ali about Mike Russell, and then that's kind of the most we've heard about it in the mainstream, if you want to call it mainstream MMA media. So, yeah. Anyway. What else happened in MMA yesterday? I watched some of I watched the Nate Diaz interviews. That shit was cool. Saying that he's a real money fight for Conor McGregor. I want to see that. I don't even care how the fight goes down. I want to hear all the shit talk between Nate and McGregor. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But anyway, weigh-ins go down today for UFC Orlando, and then of course the fights are tomorrow night. Really looking forward to the main event. Really looking forward to Michael Johnson, Nate Diaz. JDS Overeem, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice, but I don't know. I hope it's a good fight, but I really don't really. With the heavyweight division is so weak, I think, at this point, and that either one wins and gets a title shot, whatever. I think the UFC would be better off if Overeem got a title shot than the JDS, though, because they invested in Overeem when he first came over, and he's been kind of a flop, especially getting knocked out twice. The two guys he should have destroyed. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Other things going on, I can't think of anything at the moment. Tonight I'm debuting. I said the same thing on my podcast about this week heavyweight division. Yeah. By the way, send me a link to that, dude. I always, every time we talk, everything, because your name on here is MMA Think Tank Podcast. I never fucking, I always forget to look it up. So send me a link on Twitter or something, and I definitely want to check it out, or on YouTube if you want. Fucking tonight I'm premiering, I guess. It'll be the first night I do what I'm calling. Thanks to Mike Jarvis, by the way, for the name. It's called Breaking the Law with Eddie Law. I'm breaking down all sports, like all sports, So basically, it's going to be kind of like a recap of the entire day of sports. I think that at least this is going to be the idea at first. With a little bit of a twist to it. It's going to be a talk show as well. I'm going to have people, I'm going to have a Skype connected to it, so I can. Tonight it's going to be on tonight. So, like I said, I told you guys a while ago that I'm taking my shot at my dream. So I gotta have some, I gotta have stuff that isn't, 8 years old or whatever it's been since I was in college. Did college radio. So I need some newer stuff that I can, show and basically prove why I belong in a sports station here. So it's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna be a long time before I get anything. A podcast on YouTube, okay, and some weird Dutch website. Crossroads got put on some German website, and I had a lot of people asking me about when Connor. Yeah, man, I got put on some German website, and then it was like people were asking me if Sieber could beat McGregor, and I was like, no, your boys get fed to the wolves. And that was very unpopular with the Germans. They were not happy about that. So that's tonight on Spreaker. I'm gonna figure out. Basically, literally tonight's the guinea pig night. I'm gonna figure out exactly how this thing works. I kind of fucked with it a little bit, and I have an idea. But tonight is when I'm gonna 100%, just go all out. I'm gonna be taking calls if the Skype thing works. Hangouts, I like Hangouts a lot. I like it better, but I want to try the audio only. I'm gonna see if I could dual cast, basically do the YouTube and do the speaker. I'm gonna try that, but there's a chance to get put into iHeartRadio, but you have to apply and you have to have like 100, constantly at least 100 listeners a show or something. So I'm gonna take a shot at that. See if that works out. And it doesn't, mind you, it's just taking a shot. Anyway, I can get it on my phone. I will have to hit you up on Twitter about that, man. I don't know for sure. Nick asked me the same shit if there's an app for it on your phone. So I will definitely put that out today. I'm gonna do all my research here in a little bit. I spent time like yesterday putting the show together, things I want to talk about as far as big things going on. Obviously the NFL this weekend. Last night we had the ketchup mustard game that I didn't even finish watching. It hurt my eyes. Fucking I think Rams. Oh, I appreciate that, man. We had the Rams and the I know the Rams won, right? But it's like I don't even know. I honestly barely paid attention. I was dead after my workout, and I had the nephew over. He was running around, and so it's hard to pay attention to anything when he's over. And tomorrow, it's weird. It's a Saturday game too. Tomorrow, Cowboys Jets. I usually watch. I like watching matchups in the NFL. So, Revis, Des Bryant, the Jets defense against the D-line against the Cowboys O-line, because they know Matt Castle's going to get massacred. But we'll see if they can keep him alive long. But stuff like that. So I'm trying something new. I'm a fan of all sports, honestly. Baseball's kind of rough for me because it's kind of boring, but I'm gonna start watching it a little more and pay more attention to see what I can learn. Andrew Reid has requested rugby, so I'm gonna start paying attention to rugby. You know what? I've been honestly interested in rugby for a while. That's some rough shit, man. That's football without the helmet and the pads. So I want to see how that. I want to see how that goes down. Anyway, it's tonight. I'm gonna tweet it all day. Try to get people interested in it, and seeing if I could dual cast on YouTube. I'll do that too, just to make it easy for people to watch. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So, the world of MMA is not going to do much until later today. Once I'm not going to turn there. Once weigh-ins begin, we'll see people weigh in. Especially going to see, and you know what? There's going to be a lot of activity on Twitter once RDA hits the scale. When RDA hits the scale, it's going to be either a lot of, oh shit, he looks bad, or oh shit, he's on the road. There's gonna be a lot of that shit. So when RDA hits the scales, for sure. I think the same will be on Overeem. Like, oh yeah, he doesn't look as jacked. I'll be interested in seeing Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz looks ripped. I'm gonna take a nap after work this morning when I'm gonna watch the weigh-ins. Yeah. Oh, then you're gonna watch the weigh-ins. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. But the weigh-ins they're always interesting, especially because I didn't think much about it until what fight was it? The Ronda fight. Ronda Holly Holm. That Vegas watches the weigh-ins very closely. You know what I mean? And I never thought they did. I always did, because I always thought, okay, if they look like real terrible at the weigh-ins, this might not be good for them at the fight. But apparently Vegas pays a lot of attention to them, and because the odds change drastically when when a fighter goes up in the scale and looks awful or does something stupid like Ronda did at the weigh-ins. So pay attention to the weigh-ins for sure. I want to see how Nate Diaz looks. Dude looks ripped now. And yesterday in that interview I watched with him and Ariel, he looked really sucked in, like really sucked in. So yeah, I don't know. That dude might need to move up to 170. But the long layoff, the year off definitely worries me as well, man. Your body changes as you get older. I think he's only like 29 or 30 or maybe even younger than that. Not fighting for a while. People are like, oh yeah, like I've seen people on Twitter go, oh fuck you, have you fought? Yeah, how do you know ring rust is real? First of all, yeah, and two, ring rust is real, dude. Like, you got to get used to the environment, being surrounded by a ton of people and being, a bunch of eyeballs on you and all that. And I'm sure it doesn't take very long to get used to it, but if you don't do something for a long time, it's gonna get you. It's just gonna get you. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, look at who took a year off from? Remember when Magic Johnson had to retire and then came back for a bit, and he was nowhere near the same guy? Yeah, rust. You take time off, your skills are going to diminish a bit. You could practice all you want to in that year and run pickup games and everything, but it's not the same competition. You know what I mean? In camp, none of the guys you spar with are trying to hurt you. At least in most camps, they don't. They're not trying to take your head off. In this one, they're going to try to take your head off. It's going to be a little faster. So, you have to recognize that part of it. And I always laugh when they go like when I talk about jiu-jitsu, and I was talking about how me and my friends were kind of laughing at Nelson a little bit because he got put in weird positions. People were like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were ADCC world champion. And I was like, no, I'm not. Definitely not. But I'm also not putting myself out there against a guy named Damian, a guy like Damian Maia talking shit like, yeah, if he goes to the ground, whatever. No. So, the only time that I think it's bullshit, like if you criticize someone's technique, like if you criticize it and you like break it down. For example, when I don't even want to say his name, but this is one dude that he's actually pretty well known. That does actually no. I take it back. I gotta use another example. Ariel's done this shit where he was on his show. This is one of the last shows I listened to of his. It was like a couple years ago, or at least a year ago. Where he criticized, whose was it? Someone's technique about how they were throwing a kick. And I'm sitting there going, bitch, you ain't never even trained. You admitted that much. You know what I mean? I got really annoyed. I tweeted that motherfucker. He didn't say anything. But, I trained Muay Thai. And while he was correct, that fighter's technique wasn't the best, they were also very young, so they were pretty new. They hadn't been training that long. And I'm saying, I tweeted the motherfucker. He never tweeted back, but all his minion fucking mindless followers that are on, Team Ariel, 100% till I die. He's like the best thing ever. Should be the next promoter or whatever. That kind of fucking people. They were all like, oh, fucking, you saying a bunch of shit. Like, oh, you have to train and know technique? Yeah, you do. Why? Because why would I listen to you? What up, Daniel? Why would I listen to you about, for example, my jump shot, if you ain't never taken one? Or if your jump shot's awful, I'm not gonna listen to you about your jump shot, right? Okay. You kind of do gotta fucking train at least a little bit to understand technique. It's literally common sense. It's like this whole thing with, and I hate to bring it up again, but the whole thing with Donald Trump, where everyone's like, we're talking about technique and a bunch of shit, dude. By the way, Daniel, they announced Fedor's opponent. Don't even bother. It's the original guy, J-Deep Singh. It's a tomato can. He's gonna get massacred. The worst part. Okay, let's go back to the Ryzen. All right, we'll talk about this technique shit some other time, because I can go off on a fucking hour-long rant and I don't have that much time. But the Ryzen thing, yeah, dude, Ryzen was awful. And the best part of the entire thing, and this is when I started laughing. You know what's funny? You know what's hilarious? When Andrew Reid is laughing on Twitter, okay, and he's like, "This is hilarious. I can't stop laughing." And I'm like, "All right." First of all, one, the translator was awful. Like, she was translating shit in the worst way possible. Like, there was like, I was talking to someone that one of my friends that's Japanese, and he speaks it, and he was telling me like, yeah, she got like a bunch of shit wrong. Like, she translated to English incorrectly. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. He was telling me what she was saying. She was off, but they started piling up to get hilarious. And the Portuguese, because I speak Spanish fluently, I can somewhat break down the Portuguese for the most part. And I'm listening to this lady talk, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was wrong, and that was wrong. And so I go on Twitter, and everyone's saying like, yeah, that was wrong, that was wrong, it was wrong. What the fuck is she doing? But you can't shit on her too much, because she speaks English, Japanese, and Portuguese. So I feel kind of lazy for not knowing at least one of those, or at least, two of those. So regardless, the other hilarious part is the ring was behind him, right? And I was like, I was looking at him like, well, what are they gonna do with the ring? It's just there just as an ornament? No, it was not. It got fucking awesome. Okay, first, as soon as the press conference was officially over, you see, one of Sting's trainers, or his head coach, gets in the ring and starts stretching all weird, and I'm like, what the fuck? And right away, my head pops up. They're gonna do an open workout. Did you hear about the video of Lorenzo Fertitta slamming the belt when McGregor won? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. For sure, I saw that shit. But they what was it? They get in the ring, and yeah, it was a fucking open workout to prove to people this guy isn't just some fucking guy off the street. It was hilarious. I was like, this is so bad, and they know it, that they gotta try and prove that this guy has some kind of skill, something that he can throw, something that he's got, something that he can do physically. Like, it was that bad. Like, oh man, like that guy can, I don't know his last name, the Ryzen fucking owner, he can't be that stupid. There's no way he could be that stupid that that he doesn't realize it's a circus. So I don't think, I'm starting to think they don't care about the international thing. I think they only care about Japanese showing up and getting some quick cash. I really don't think Ryzen's gonna survive this first show. It'll be this first show, and I think that'll be it. The way it's looking. But it was hilarious. Oh geez, was it funny? He started trying to do combos and shit, and what was the other thing he did? He was throwing punches, and they were super slow. And I was like, a half asleep Fedor would knock this fucker out, and he might. Mind you, Fedor hasn't fought in forever, but come on, this guy. So. You never know. I immediately think, my first thought was, okay, this fight is not fixed 100%, but for sure that that guy's gonna tell Fedor, hey, look, let him live for like 6-7 minutes, and then just kill him, or at least let him live for 6-7 minutes. You know what I mean? Make us look somewhat legitimate. And so that's kind of what I think is gonna happen. But God, it's just embarrassing. Lorenzo Fertitta slamming the belt down when McGregor won. I've heard a couple things. First of all, the first thing I heard, and I got this from one of my buddies, Talk MMA, on Twitter. He's an insider, I guess you want to call it that. I mean, that's what he calls himself. I don't know what the fuck to say about that. I'm not an insider. I just enjoy talking about it. But he talks about he knows a lot of those guys in there, and so he said that he was told that it was a program, like it was like a shiny program, like one of those books that tells you what the hell you're watching, and that's what Fertitta slammed down. Because he freaked out in excitement. So I got to the video and I zoomed in on it as much as I could. At first, from far away, it looks like a belt. As much as you zoom in, it doesn't really look like a belt very much to me. And by the way, why the hell is Lorenzo Fertitta holding the belt? I thought Dana White was holding the belt, or they had somebody else to hold the belt on the side. So I don't think he slammed the belt down. Now, mind you, if he was holding the belt, if that was the belt and he slammed it down, McGregor's been talking shit that he's going to have a massive contract coming up. You know what I mean? He wins. That's leverage. That's big time leverage. Not to mention 10.1 million gate. Conor McGregor's got all the cards in that negotiation, basically. So they got to pay that dude. But I don't think it was a belt. I really don't think it was a belt at all. I think it really was a program. And it was just the perfect angle for it to look like a belt, but it'd be interesting to see, man. If it is a belt, damn. If it's not the belt, whatever. But yeah, that was interesting as fuck. I wonder if someone will ask Connor if Connor will answer that question, because I'm sure that everyone asked him enough. He probably has Lorenzo's cell phone on his freaking phone, so he probably call him and be like, "Hey, dude, what the hell? Did you really sign my belt? Smack if you did." So anyway, so yeah, that was fucking interesting as shit for sure. And real quick, back to the technique things. I got a little bit of time, not much, but I got some. Do I got some time? Let me say, yep. And I ain't getting yelled at yet. Fucking, with the technique thing again, if you haven't trained, you cannot criticize someone's technique. In my opinion, you really can't. You cannot talk shit about how someone throws a punch or a kick. You can't. Why can Joe Rogan do it? He trained. He fought. Now MMA, but he fought he fought kickboxing. He fought taekwondo. Connor told Dana congratulations while he was doing an interview. Yeah. Dana White was talking to Megan O'Leary, and Connor walks by, congratulations, and it was funny, and it was just like, because it's true. That was a huge step for the UFC. Conor McGregor is a bigger star than Ronda Rousey ever was. 100%. You know why? I was watching. I'm a fan of Colin Cowherd. A lot of people hate that dude. They call him racist and a bunch of shit. I find him interesting because he has a different point of view on everything he says. So he was talking about Conor McGregor. And if I remember correctly, when the UFC first started going mainstream, he said it would never get big. I'm just saying. So when like Colin Howard has to eat their words and shut the fuck up and talk about Conor McGregor because his listeners, because he does what his listeners want to talk about, right? If his listeners hit him up about fucking Alabama football, he'll talk about that. And if they hit him up about Conor McGregor, he talked about it. You think he can do movies like as in acting? Who knows, man? I think he'd be a better actor than Ronda. To be honest with you. But Vin Diesel put out that picture on Instagram of him and saying, "Oh, I'm having fun. I think I found a new Triple X, or a guy from my new Triple X movie, The Return of Van Zander, or whatever they call him." Ronda success as an actress. Yeah, I haven't seen any movies where she's good. She looks, yeah. No, I like Ronda as a fighter, big time. Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. Think about Ronda. I just think she's fucking sexy. Maybe not so much in the Fast and Furious movie, but in the Expendables movie, where she's whooping ass in a red dress, and I'm like, oh, please fall. Have the red dress fall. I just want to see. I don't know. I always found her to be a good looking girl. I like Kaylin Curran a lot, though. She is hot, but she's only a fighter. She ain't an actress. And Paige Van Zandt's a cutie. Rose post haircut. It's taking some getting used to. Mark Wahlberg isn't a great actor either. Yeah, he's not, but the fame of being Marky Mark helps out a lot. Good actors, man. Denzel's a good actor. Daniel Day-Lewis is an amazing actor. Sly Stallone is not a great actor, but he did really good in Creed. If he doesn't get a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, I'll be fucking shocked. Okay, I heard Garbrandt got Lineker next. Garbrandt better learn some head movement, because Lineker throws bombs, okay? Lineker has ISIS bombs on his hands, and that's not a fucking joke to say that dude's got any issues. I have no idea where Lineker's from anyway, but he's got some massive bombs on his hands. That dude will fucking hurt you if he lands one. So yeah, man, Garbrandt, start learning some head movement, man. Go hang out with Dwayne Bang Ludwig for a little bit at least. Don't tell Uriah. But that's what I'd fucking do for sure. Start learning some head movement and some. At least get Lineker to gas out. But if Lineker lands one bomb on you, dude, that sucks. It hurts like a bitch, I bet. So yeah. What else we got? Oh, one last thing, because I gotta go. Prepare yourselves for a treat, gentlemen. Tomorrow night, Dominic Cruz will be calling fights with Joe Rogan and with Mike Goldberg. Ronnie only has one-liners in her movies. Exactly, because she can't act. Dominic Cruz will be calling fights with Rogan and Goldberg. I'm excited as fuck about it. Can we get rid of Mike? You know what, man? Here's the thing about Mike. Mike's a technician. That guy does his job pretty well. He'll fuck up a couple things here and there. He gets a little too excited. It's weird. But I mean, look, let's look at all the guys that do his job, a technician's job, in other promotions, okay? Whoever Bellator has, whatever. I wish it would get Ranella. He's good, but now he's going to be calling WWE SmackDown events now. And who else is his mother, the Korean? Exactly, I remember that. You see the Periscope where Rufus talking about the kid Weidman threw? I did not, but now that you mentioned it, I'm gonna look it up. For sure, someone put it on YouTube at this point. If not, let's go to his Periscope and see. But it was an awful kick. Fucking Dominic Cruz will be calling fights. But here's the thing. You know, who else? TJ DeSantis does it for Invicta. Look, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's awful to listen to. He's just awful to listen to. And, you know, but he doesn't fuck things up as much as Mike does. But I just can't listen to his voice. It just sounds so weak to me. And he needs a little more excitement, a little more in his voice, I think. In my opinion. This is my opinion. You know what I mean? If you like TJ DeSantis, say do your thing. Yeah, all good, man. I'm not hating on anybody as far as that goes. Just Ariel for talking shit about technique when he's never trained not one day in his life. And what else we got on that? Here's the one thing. I think bringing Dominic Cruz is it's almost like an audition for if/when Rogan leaves. You know what I mean? He says if Weidman were in kickboxing, he would have been fine. Look, man, I've seen Weidman shadow boxing. Not for nothing, you know. It's a little better than Ronda's, but not by much. Mind you, his striking is better than Ronda's, you know, easily. But the shadow boxing, I was like, whoa, that don't even look right at all. And I've trained with guys that can strike. You know, if you go ahead and look up videos of John Moraga shadow boxing. If they have him out there, you could tell the guy can strike just from shadow boxing. I have to throw in the kick because they would have been stood up. Okay. They might have been stood up, but I don't think so. What else they got? So I think, you know, Dominic getting brought in for this is just kind of like to see how the public feels about him on there. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. I think Rogan is tired as fuck of getting criticized by MMA people. He had to put out a fucking apology to Jose and his trainer for the Aldo body, you know, soft comments, because they're like, I mean, he did mention, he's like, I don't know if it's steroids or if it's a cardio thing, but you know, he had to apologize for that shit. That's awful. A comedian does not apologize, and he hates apologizing for an opinion, and he had to apologize for it. So he apologized to Jose and his trainer, mind you. He didn't apologize to retards on Twitter. But you know, I think he's getting tired of that kind of attention, that kind of dumb shit. I think he's just getting burnt out by it. So I honestly think we might be seeing the last of it. It was a backhanded apology. Read it. Yeah, that's what comedians do. They don't 100% go all out. I'm sorry. There was a sarcasm in that apology for sure. You know what I mean? Rogan himself has said, don't apologize for your opinions. You know what I mean? He didn't, you know, he didn't. He doesn't. He'll apologize if he hurt your feelings. You know, like he apologized. He said, if I hurt Cyborg's feelings, I'm sorry to her. You know? But, no, he's not, for sure it was backhanded, for sure. And it should be. He also still showed the pics of him looking different. Exactly. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have to apologize for that shit at all. You know, if anything, if I was gonna apologize to like a sincere apology, I would call Jose and his coach myself and be like, "Hey man, I said this shit. People blowing it up. I'm sorry. This is what I meant. It's just a question. That's all I had, an opinion. Okay? I didn't fucking say that Jose's on steroids for sure. So I'm sorry. I apologize to you and Jose in a phone call privately. I would never put that out. No way. I would let everyone, all these people on Twitter freak the fuck out all they want. I don't give a shit. All these Brazilians that got all upset and whatnot, fuck them. I don't care. You know, this is what it is. But I think he's getting tired of the bullshit. So maybe they're bringing Dominic in to see how he does. I think he's going to do phenomenal, okay? Because Dominic Cruz can call fights. And Dominic Cruz can break down shit. I'm a huge fan of Dominic's fighting, but I'm be a bigger fan of Dominic's analysis. You know what, guys? I highly recommend you guys follow Dominic Cruz on Periscope and on Twitter, because I'll put it on he tweets out the Periscope link too. But before the fights go down, he breaks them down on how he thinks they're going to go down, and he does an excellent job. Cruz and Rogan is a dream. If they can get Cruz and Rogan and one of them can do Mike Goldberg's job, that would be so legit. If they brought in Dominic Cruz and if he could learn the technician's job and do it correctly, dude, like, oh, it would be so good. Ray Longo came on Bruce Buffer podcast and mentioned he doesn't know if the ban affected Chris. You know how it affected Chris? The IV ban. You know how it affected Chris is it forced Chris to cut weight early, and he cut actual weight. Yeah, he was walking around a $190 before the fight doing interviews. So in the cage, he was no more than 200 pounds. While it did affect well, it didn't affect McGregor's performance. I'll tell you that. At least not for 13 seconds. But Weidman came in. Weidman was, I don't think he was more than 205 in the cage. While Rocco probably came in at 220. You know what I mean? Like Rocco's like, I'm just gonna do it normal, dude. Fuck it. And he was sick, or he had to fuck the thing on his foot, and he was on antibiotics and whatnot. So, who knows, man? I don't know if it got. Yeah, no excuses, exactly. No excuses for sure. But here's the thing. Here's the difference between an excuse and giving a reason. An excuse would be like if right after in the post-fight interview before Rogan even asks you a question, you go, well, I got this and I got that and I got this. If someone asks you a question like in a post-fight press conference, they go, hey, are you okay, whatever. You could just not mention it, or you could be like, oh yeah, I had a couple issues here and I was injured here. Like I like what Nate Diaz does. Nate Diaz goes in, he fights, he doesn't give you any inclination he might be hurt or if something's wrong, and then after the fight he'll be like, look, I didn't have the greatest camp, but whatever. I still came out to fight. Tito makes sure, Tito fucking excuses left and right. Nate looks fucking sick, dude. I'm excited to see Nate back in there. I just hope his weight cut isn't gonna fuck him over. I don't think he used IVs, by the way, but I don't know that for sure. So, no, I'm just excited, dude. I'm excited for tomorrow night's fights. I fucking can't wait. What else we got? Nate's got so many miles. Nate does have miles on him for sure. Those guys are constantly running marathons. Yeah, dude, those guys' cardio will never run out ever. And word is that Nate's camp this time around wasn't that great either, but he looks good. Like physically looks good. So I think hopefully he's coming in without any injuries. But who knows, man. I never did any camps. Like anytime, I don't even call them fights, man. I call them glorified sparring sessions that I did when I was training. They're amateur at best. But I would never call myself like a fighter. People always ask me, did you train MMA? I'm like, yeah, I trained. Did you ever fight? And I go, I fucked around. That's kind of what I call it, because I have way too much respect for someone that has the balls to step in there with professionals and they train killers and shit. So, I was never a fighter. No, I just fucked around in amateur shit and I train in MMA. I think the Reebok deal have benefits. Yeah. You know what's weird? It's gonna be really, and they mentioned it yesterday in the interview with Helwani and Nate, which I got to give Helwani credit for getting it, but still, that it's gonna be weird seeing Nate come out with Reebok shit. It's gonna be really weird seeing Nate come out with Reebok shit, not come out with the Metal Militia shit, with the beanie and all that. It's gonna be really weird. So, yeah, because Nick came out with the Torque shirt. That was literally right before the thing started. What do you think of? Wow, excuse me. What do you think of Connor's green tights? Nice little touch, right? Connor's got his own deal with Reebok, so he can probably get customized shit. Fuck stopping here. I was gonna go inside and get like some breakfast food, but I just remembered I left something in the fridge at work that will work just as well for breakfast, and I'm running out of time. So, plus it buys me another 5 minutes to talk shit, which I'm all about. I'm all for that, fellas. Real quick, I don't know if you guys watch basketball. I know Daniel does. I don't know, Jay. I don't know if you... Well, you should, Jay. You live in the Bay. You'd be watching the Warriors. You should be watching the Warriors, but if you're not, start. You got two of the best fucking guards in the game. They dropped, I think, Klay Thompson and Seth Curry, or Steph Curry, not Seth. Seth's his little brother. Steph Curry dropped 65 together. They combined for 65 against my Suns. And we had two really good backcourt players in Bledsoe and Brandon Knight. I was not surprised they did that to us, but I was just, oh, Jesus, I'm so impressed with those guys. But LeBron yesterday against the Thunder, he ran to save a loose ball, and he fucking bowled over, like hit first and landed right on top of Jason Day's wife. Jason Day's an Aussie golfer, as I learned yesterday. An Aussie golfer that was #1 in the world for like 5 minutes. It's okay, Spurs are going to put us up to that nonsense. Oh, relax. Spurs are not beating the Warriors. They could, they won't. They have I'll tell you what, if anyone has a formula to beat a team like the Warriors, it's the Spurs who constantly beat the shit out of my 7 seconds or less Suns, okay? This is what it was. I have mad respect for Popovich and Tim Duncan. Manu Ginobili can go fuck himself. But ask him Bruce Bowen. But LeBron pulled over his wife, and she had to go to the hospital. She had her neck strapped down, all that. Turns out he slammed right into her. The back of her head hit the ground and fucked her up. Spurs are only 3.5 games back of the Warriors. Yeah, dude, we just started the season. You know, we'll see what happens. Someone's gonna, and inevitably there's gonna be injuries. There's gonna be, you know, someone's gonna fall in a rut, you know, and start missing shots and whatnot. I'll tell you what, Tim Duncan's gotta be happy as fuck to have Aldridge on that team though. And in the war, look, I'll tell you what, the Warriors, Andre Iguodala is not getting enough credit. That Warriors team is way more efficient and more effective, I think, when Andre's on the floor than when you have Steph and Clay on the floor. So, or even Harrison Barnes on the floor. So definitely. So they could shove that whole win streak up there. Oh, relax. Relax. I didn't see the Spurs win 20, 23, or 24 games in a row, whatever it was, okay? I didn't see that. By the way, Spurs don't give a shit about that kind of stuff, so I don't expect them to even bother trying to go for that. But again, I said it already. Spurs will be there and will give the Warriors a challenge in the playoffs if they play. I'll tell you that. Don't need we have more championships. That's what I'm saying. But honestly, if I had to pick a favorite to win the title this year, I almost go with the Cavs. I go between Cavs, Warriors. And if I was just doing just Western Conference, the OKC Thunder somehow grew some balls over the offseason because they were tough yesterday. I think Serge Ibaka shoved LeBron to the ground like a bitch. I was like, damn. By the way, is there any other NBA player that maybe should at some point start training and see if he wants to fight besides LeBron James? Other than the possible, you know, possibility of being used and shit, because the NBA does not do a great job of testing their athletes. But not for roids much, but because roids won't help you in basketball, but other stuff. But I can only think of LeBron James as if he could fucking fight at heavyweight and jack some dudes. Him, maybe Blake Griffin, just dismantle dudes at heavyweight or super heavyweight. And yeah. By the way, real quick before I go, hold up. Oh shit, my throat's getting dry. There was a weight cut summit that I heard about yesterday on Twitter, and they're suggesting changes to the weight limits. What time does the fight start? They're here tomorrow. Oh, I don't remember. I'll tweet you. I'll let you know. But they're talking about getting rid of 170 and going 175, 185, 195, 205, and 225 and super heavyweight. That's right there, just from 175 up. That's 6 weight classes. I got to work this weekend. Pissed. Oh, that fucking blows, dude. Yeah, that sucks, man. It's early for us because Florida's an hour ahead of us. Okay, so if you're Central Time, so it's gonna be an hour earlier for me than from you, or 2 hours, or an hour earlier, right? Yeah, so that's weird because I'm Mountain Standard. Yeah, so they announced these weight class things, and I mean, it's suggestions. It's not, who knows if it's gonna happen. No daylight savings for you, exactly. Arizona said, fuck that shit. We're not doing no daylight savings time. And I like it. I like it in the summer. I hate it in the winter. Yep. I hate it in the winter because it's later. It's like, it fucks everybody up. I still don't get why they do it. I don't really care. I'm here. So, but in the summer, it's great because everything's earlier for me. In the winter, it sucks because it's, a little later. Right, because everyone else moves but us. So it's it's kind of what it is. It's like 5 and feels like 8. Yep. But you deal with it for a couple months or a few months, and then go back to the regular shit. But like right now, we're 2 hours behind East Coast. So when we do Keyboard Warriors and we have like a 7:30 start time, it's 9:30 for them. So anyway, all right, fellas, I gotta go. They're already looking at me like, hey, what the fuck, dude? We got to do this. So you guys have a wonderful day. Remember, it's one day closer to death, man, so make every day count. You guys all have an awesome an hour. Prelim start at 4. There you go. All right, Jay, have a good one. Daniel, have a good one, man. Don't work too hard. And I will catch you guys later for the drive home. And, of course, tonight, Breaking the Law with Eddie Law on Spreaker. Yeah, on Spreaker. And hopefully YouTube possibly as well. So I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated throughout the day. All right, you guys have a good one. See ya.